Today I'm going to share with you the three steps that every mom needs to do to get ready for 2024. This is the exact thing that I've been doing for the last 6 of the 10 years that I've been a mom, and it has made a huge difference in helping me feel empowered with how I'm using my time and my energy, my money, our resources, and helps me know when enough is enough and it helps build in some rest. So here it is. We're just going to jump in.
Hi, I'm Jessica Jackson, and this is the new way to thrive in motherhood by leaning into who you are, what you love, your unique family situation and personal mission to create a life that you actually want to live. I want to invite you to join me in saying no to the life of the exhausted supermom, burnout, victim thinking, being pulled in so many directions, suffering through survival mode, or being lost in motherhood, and say yes to building strong families and moving forward on our greatest goals in order to create a fulfilling life that we are excited to wake up to each day and become a soaring mother. This is the Thriving in Motherhood podcast.
Today's episode is brought to you by the Thriving in Motherhood Planner. With this simple system, creating a life you love is as simple as opening your planner and grabbing a pen. Every day with the Thriving Motherhood Planner, you will know what to do next, what's most important, and what to fill those pockets of time on. You won't find yourself wandering around the house wondering what to do when the kids are playing nicely for a few minutes. You'll be able to fill that effectively with moving forward on the things that matter to you. Follow the Thriving in Motherhood Planner's research-based system so that you can move forward on the things that matter to you, no matter the season of life that you are in. I'd love to help you get on a better path, one that leads to peace and confidence in your unique life with the Thriving in Motherhood Planner.
Learn more today at thrivinginmotherhoodpodcast.com/planner.
What I want you to do is create a vision for the year. Now, this isn't going to be a surprise to anyone that's been here around here for a while, but let's talk a little more practically about what that looks like. So the first of the 3 things we need to do is have a technology fast. Turn it off. I find that even though I'm consuming good technology, I'm watching good videos and taking good courses and following good people on Instagram and watching good stories, everybody's sharing their ideas. And I love that. It's one of my favorite things about the internet. I share things, right? But it's too much and I'm too easily impressionable. And what I need to do and what I'm inviting you to do is just turn it all off. We just need to give ourselves permission to quiet our minds, to get rid of all of these wonderful flow of ideas that are wonderful and you can go back to them later. But right now it's a time to just quiet things down so that you can get clear about what your thoughts are, about what your husband's thoughts are, about what your children's thoughts are, what God's thoughts are. And use that to get clear about what matters moving into the new year and to figure out what you're going to spend your time and your energy on. And only that. I don't want to be influenced. And I am. I know because I've seen somebody working on a bathroom project on Instagram that I wasn't intending on doing and had no interest in and did not care about before I saw this. And yet that night I found myself at Lowe's looking for materials for a bathroom project that I didn't care about before I saw that story. Now, was that a bad thing to do? No, but it did show me that I'm influenceable, even in good ways. And so I think that's just the nature of things, right? But when it comes to creating my vision for my year, I don't want other people's ideas flowing into me. I also, at this time, it's just like so much extra. There's extra things with the holidays and as a homeschooling mom, we're like trying to still keep school consistent for a while, but then also planning fun things and activities and the weather's great for us in Georgia. So we're actually outside a lot where I'm working on gardening projects right now. Where the weather's nice. It feels like fall. But where you are, you might be with family, you've got extra commitments and parties, and we have that stuff too. I'm playing in an orchestra, like some accompaniment stuff for a Christmas concert. So we have extra Christmas stuff happening and it's so fun and I love it. But you add all of that on top of regular life and many of you might be traveling and things like it just elevates the stress level a little bit. And so just to help manage all of that and recover from that, going into January, like just turn it off. Minimum 14 days, because I find that first week you're still just kind of like disoriented in the silence. I did 2 episodes earlier this year, one with Phoebe Cook and then one with my own experiences of doing a 30-day technology fast. And it was incredible and life-changing and so wonderful. And so you can go back and check out those episodes if you want to listen to those. It was pre-video podcast, so you're going to have to listen to it on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. But going forward, I find that that's going to be an essential part of my creating my vision because I just want to silence all of the noise. so that I just have my own thoughts, God thoughts, my family's thoughts. So that's my first invitation. I want you to get on a calendar right now, very actionable right now. Look at your calendar and decide when are you going to be going on your own technology fast. And you get to decide the rules. You get to decide what it is that you're going to step away from. I recommend pretty much everything. Maybe like movies are fine. If you're in this situation, it's how do I create clarity for myself about what matters to me? So if you feel like watching a Christmas movie doesn't clutter that's great. If you're concerned about having time to do all this, though, that's another benefit of going on this tech fast, of like quieting everything creates that mental clarity. It also gives you time back. So you don't have time to do this. Well, let's cut out pretty much all tech, and it'll create time. It'll create time. So like the consumption, the movies, the social media, the YouTube, you might pause from courses. You might pause from audiobooks. You might pause from listening to music. I did that. I even when I got in the car, I didn't turn anything on, didn't turn the radio on, just silence, and just got comfortable with that on trips. So you know where you're at in your priorities, but you get to decide. I just sit down and write down a list. What are you not going to do? And what are you going to do? I still am going to check my email at least some days of the week because many of you are emailing me, right? For customer support things. So I'll still respond to those. I can't just, check out of everything. So that's what this tech fast. So get clear about what your rules are, set it up, keep yourself to that minimum 14 days, try 30 and see how it feels in this whole process. And that'll help give you your own thoughts plus time and space to do the next thing. So the second thing I want to invite you to do is review 2023. Now, this is a part of the Create Your Vision process that I have in the Thriving Motherhood Planner. If you already have a planner you love, you can just go and do the Create Your Vision mini course on its own. You can go purchase that at thrivingmotherhoodpodcast.com/vision, or it comes with your Thriving Motherhood Planner, both the pages and the video course, and you get the pages and the video course minus the planner if that's what you want. But what you do is you're going to review the year. Now, just some basic questions. I'm not going to give you everything that's in the planner just because it's, I think, literally 28 pages. But just to get started, if that's not something you're interested in doing, and to just start right now thinking about it. What went well? I want you to take out a piece of paper and write this down. What are the things that went well? And what are things that didn't go well in this last year? What did you learn? What are the things that you discovered? What did you accomplish? What are you most proud of? What did you regret? The purpose of this is you sit down and write out answers to these questions is twofold. One, we want to celebrate what happened, recognize what happened. It's the same reason why we do this process every month, but now we're just doing it at a grander scale. And that's because when you can go back and see everything that you've done, read, learned, accomplished, when adventures you have, lessons you've learned, it helps you start from a place of feeling good because it's always 10 times more than you thought you did. To see things as they really are, look at things as reality. It helps you learn and gauge how much you can do in a time frame, whether you planned it out intentionally or not. It does help give you that gauge. It helps build momentum and helps you get excited about doing something else instead of feeling like, I never get to anything I want to do, when really you did a bunch of stuff, you just didn't acknowledge it. And so we want to do that. We also want to unpack the backpack and pull things out and look at them and decide whether we want them to stay. So the purpose of asking, what didn't go well, it's not to make you beat yourself up and feel bad. It's so that you can mine for pieces of gold, to be like, what didn't go this well this year? It took us 10 minutes longer. We got 10 minutes late everywhere, at least to where we wanted to go. It took us forever to get out of the house. We're always late. And I had never had what I needed when I went to the places because my baby had diaper blowouts and I didn't have clothes and I didn't have the diapers. When we notice what didn't go well, now we have something that we can solve and we can make that better. And we might make that one of the things that we focus on in the next year, is making it easier to leave the house. So I want you to look for that. When we think about what didn't go well or what your regrets are, again, we're not trying to make you feel bad, but we're trying to notice, what do we want to change? Because there's a new page in this reflect section in the planner that I'm so excited about, which is about the story that you're telling yourself. Because we want to look at not just what happened, what did go well, what didn't go well, but what stories are we telling ourselves to help us turn from victims to victors. So we're no longer telling ourselves these martyred stories that are so easy. Now, this might not be something that you struggle with, which is lovely, but I feel like the culture of motherhood is very much of this stuff is happening to us. Things are so much harder because we have children, or our life is so hard because we don't have enough money. And it's very easy to buy into these stories that we tell ourselves that are not helping us. And so taking a moment to kind of rewrite that story, and instead of looking at it from like, man, this year was so hard because of X, Y, and Z, instead say, wow, look at how much stronger I am because I overcame X, Y, and Z, or because I endured X, Y, and Z, or because I walked through X, Y, and Z. And look at your growth. Look at that progress. Look at what you're now capable of that you didn't think you were capable of before. After you've done this reflection and you've thought about rewriting your story and telling yourself something that's more helpful, more empowering, and this will take time. This does take time. I've got multiple pages in the planner dedicated just to reflecting, and I take multiple days to do this process. And if you're like, well, where am I getting the time? First of all, we cut out technology. And second of all, this is where I'm like, I read through all these questions, or I think of these questions that I've just shared with you. And I'm like taking a shower and ideas are coming to me. I'm washing dishes and ideas are coming to me. I'm using these quiet moments to think and reflect, and then I jot it down. So for me, it's a very piecemeal thing. I'm not like going away and leaving my family, or, heading to the Panera Bread or coffee shop or whatever. Like I'm just in my regular life, and then using bits and pieces of inspiration and writing them down as they come. So this doesn't have to be super formal as you're doing any of this. It's just like everything else in motherhood, the way I do it in small pockets of time. So the third step here now is to create your vision for 2024. And again, this is all in the workbook process, but these are some questions to get you started, to get you thinking right now. Again, on your piece of paper, you can jot these down. What experiences do you want to have this upcoming year? What is just already in your mind? Like, you probably already having thoughts about 2024, good, bad, ugly. I don't know. Maybe you have projects, ideas, or goals, or things that you want to accomplish. I would just brain dump those all down. You're not committing to them, but just like get them out on paper so that you can start thinking about other things. Because if your brain's full of what you already have, like just dump that out first. Then start asking yourself, what experiences do you want to have this year yourself? What experience do you have with your husband? What experiences do you want to have as your family? What projects do you want to accomplish this year? What are some habits that you want to develop for yourself as a couple in your marriage, for all of your children? Who do you want to become? Who do you want to be as a wife? Who do you want to be as a mother? How do you want to be as an individual, as a daughter, as a sister, as a friend? Like, what does that look like for you? What household routines do you want to put in place, right? When we said about what didn't go well, what's falling apart in your house that you want to make a little bit better? What matters for your family this year? Are there certain things coming up or happening in your life that is relevant, that matters right now, that you need to dedicate some time and space for? So as I'm brainstorming and dumping these ideas, and again, a bunch more that are in the workbook pages that you can get, I am just getting ideas. This isn't like I'm committing to doing all of these things in all these pages, but what I want to do is, again, quiet the noise and now take like a really awesome 360-degree view of my life. Because me as motherhood has so many different roles and responsibilities in itself, and so does being a wife, and but so does just me, right? Like, what matters to me? What are my goals? What are my dreams? What are my talents that I want to develop and cultivate? How can I take care of myself better? As well as, who do I want to become? And how do I want to stretch? And how do I want to grow? And so as I look at all of these things, then it kind of whittles in to this vision, and I go through and I see what resonates with me. What am I most excited about? I don't put anything on my vision that I feel like, oh, I just have to do this. I only put things that I'm excited about on, that I care about right now, and that are going to stretch me. I want things to stretch me. I want them to be uncomfortable. I want them to help me to grow. Because that is so important for everybody, but especially for us moms, because not only does it help us, but we are modeling for our children. We're mentoring them to see what it's like to be a good adult, a good human. And so when we are intentional about our own growth and our own learning, and we model that just by doing it by ourselves, when we do it as a couple, if your spouse is open to this type of conversation, and then as your kids get older, you loop them into this type of discussion. And then as they start getting older into those, preteen, teen years, you start helping them do this too. This is a really powerful mentoring loop that we get to do, so that our whole family grows. So it's not just the kids that you're putting into tons of activities and filling up time to keep everybody busy and entertained. But instead, we're all using our time to intentionally learn and grow together alongside of each other. So this is what makes life fun for me as a mom, or even if I wasn't a mom, but definitely as a mom. This is what makes life fun. This is what makes me motivated to figure out the house stuff, because I have this vision of something that I care about. I'm the one that decided I'm excited about figuring out the laundry, so it feels great when I figure out the laundry. I'm the one that decided I want to do something scary and start a video podcast this year. And I did, and it was great. I've learned a lot, and I have so much more to learn. It takes you on a unique journey that isn't going to look like anybody else's. And I think when you then maybe go back online and you're looking at other influences and other sources and getting ideas, you're going to be so much more confident in how you're spending your time and your energy and your days when you have started by figuring out what matters to you and what you're going to focus on this year. And then you don't have to compare yourself so much to others. Like, that's the beautiful thing. The comparison goes down like so much because you're so confident in what you've decided matters. And so it makes it easier to then celebrate other people's successes and other people's victories, as well as your own, because we've like leveled the playing field. It doesn't matter anymore what anyone else's life looks like. It doesn't matter they're living a life that's totally different than yours, because you're confident about the life that you're choosing to live. Now, maybe you really are like, I don't know though, and that's okay. I didn't have any clue either. Your first year creating your vision, if this is your first time, it's going to be foggy. There might not be lots of details in there, and that's okay. The point is that as you go through this process, you are going to find little gold nuggets. As you ask yourself these questions, you answer them, you are going to find at least a few things that you're going to hold on to that you're going to start moving forward on. And this is going to help sustain you, because if you're in a survival season, you're going to be able to use this to know, like, I've got a little bit of energy and this is what matters. I'm going to work on this thing. And if you are in a season where you are depressed and nothing feels good and you don't feel like doing anything day after day, I've used this vision to be like, you know what? I don't feel like doing any of this. But I said that this mattered, so this is how I'm going to do anyway, even though I don't feel it. And I've been through many seasons like that, where it's just like intellectually, I know that this matters, and I decided it mattered, and so I'm going to do it even though it doesn't feel good. And the beautiful thing is that when that depression lifts, I feel so grateful that I just kept putting one foot in front of the other and doing the things that I said mattered to me, because now I've created something pretty great that I get to enjoy when, things level out and I don't feel that way anymore. Or maybe you're super busy and you're like running 150 miles an hour. This is going to help you clarify and say, like, yes, these are things that I want to be running, and you can be confident and therefore have the energy and momentum that you need to keep going. Or you might say in this process, you know what? Some of these things I'm actually doing and they don't matter so much. And you're going to cut them out and hopefully save yourself from some serious burnout and exhaustion that is not necessary. So I'm really passionate about visions. We have a lot to talk about and a lot that we can do with them. But today, right now, just doing this one thing of creating some space in your life, creating some space in your mind, reflecting on this last year and creating a vision for the upcoming year will make a huge difference. Even if it's just this one piece of paper that you have, having that clarity will influence how you're spending your days. And if you want more help, you can do Plan a Week You Can Win. It's a free training I've got for you. It's a free gift. You can go to thrivingandmotherhoodpodcast.com/more time, and I will walk you through the process of how I take this vision that you're about to create and make it a reality in your everyday life. How do you do that? What does that look like, bringing it into your weeks? So you can check that out again at thrivingandmotherhoodpodcast.com/more time. Thank you so much for being here with me. And in the comments below, I would love to hear what is one thing that you're excited about doing in 2024 that you want to be part of your vision for the year. And definitely, you can just brainstorm right now, or if you want to come back after you've done your brainstorming, I would love to hear. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I've got great content coming up, and it's totally fine if you don't watch it for the next couple of weeks because you're doing a social media fast. So yes, even I, who creates content, is encouraging you not to watch my content for a couple of weeks while you quiet, and then you can come back and see what to do next. I've got good stuff coming up for you.
Where you are planted, watch the blossoms grow.